Hey guys, so you get to see me in glasses on this video because my contacts were bothering me, so I went ahead and took them out. Um, which I realized I never kind of addressed why I do these videos in my car. One, I do it pretty much after my HIT class because um, it just became my thing to do it then, and just trying to stick to that routine. Um, I usually do these on Monday or Wednesday night, which today is Wednesday. Um, and it just gives me time to just sit in my car with no distractions and get this video done. So I just completed my first HIT class for this week. I'm actually one down as far as what I wanted to do because unfortunately I didn't come Monday night. And so last week, if you guys remember, if I told you, I, after the weigh-in, found out that I was 37 pounds away from a 200-pound weight loss. So it ignited the fire for me to reach that 200-pound weight loss. So I ended up going to my HIT class Monday night, of course, and then I went Wednesday night. After that class, I went straight to my gym and did cardio and more weights. Thursday night, I came to my HIT class. Friday, I was off for Good Friday, and I went to the gym for 2.5 hours doing cardio, a HIT class, and then some more weights. And then Saturday morning, I came to my HIT class. And then my plan for Saturday afterwards was to go back to the gym and get more cardio in and possibly more weights. But what happened was I ended up hanging out with one of my best friends, and we went to a place called Castlewood State Park here in the St. Louis County area. And my plan was we were going to do a hike. Afterwards, I was going to go to the gym. I wasn't on any time schedule or anything. I did not realize what this hike was going to be. This hike is not the right word in my mind, because when I think of a hike, I think of a nice leisurely stroll through the woods, and yeah, this was a workout, and I could definitely tell, especially from doing the HIT class that morning. And so we did a 3-mile hike, and towards the end, I started to not feel so well, and I started realizing how dry my lips were. And I had been drinking water throughout this hike, but I realized that I hadn't been drinking enough. And so by the time we got back to our car, it just seemed like by every hour, my fatigue, the way I felt, just got worse and worse. We actually went out to eat afterwards, and it was funny. We were trying to figure out where we were going to go, and I just kept telling my friends, like, I don't care. There was part of me that wanted to eat, but then there was this part of me that, like, food did not sound appealing whatsoever. So anyway, we got to a restaurant. I got a chicken breast that had Swiss cheese on it and a couple pieces of bacon on a bed of lettuce. I had maybe a quarter of that chicken breast and 2 bites of the bacon, and I was done. And I appeared exhausted, which I was. But in a few hours after this point, I went from exhausted to sick. And although I'm not sure if I'll ever know exactly what happened, just talking to my trainers, talking to other people who know more about the human body, and even talking with my doctor, I was definitely dehydrated. That wasn't in question. But also earlier last week, my stepdad had, and excuse the rain if this is too loud, I apologize. But my stepdad had a stomach bug. And there's kind of the thought that possibly I had that bug, and just for the overwork I did on Saturday, it weakened me enough to let that bug kind of come into full swing. And also a depletion of electrolytes. So Saturday night was an awful night. I was up quite a bit during that night. I won't go into details to spare you. But then Saturday, if I calculated, I think I was up total, if you combine all the times I was awake, probably about 4 hours. Like, my body was just done. And so that was my Easter. Yay. it actually really sucked because I had plans for Easter and that did not happen. But anywho, so now Monday, I went to work, not feeling that great, which in this case is nice because I am currently working from home. So was on the clock for about an hour and started getting sick again. So I had to clock out for the rest of the day and pretty much rested the rest of the day and slept. And it wasn't until yesterday that I actually started getting an appetite. Otherwise, I had been eating toast, pieces of, 1 or 2 slices of bread, which that's what toast is, but I mean like I didn't toast it, and then crackers, which I'll come back to. And then, so come Tuesday, I finally started getting somewhat of an appetite. So for lunch, which was my first meal for that day, was 1.5 chicken wings. That stayed in my stomach for about 30 minutes, and it did not stay there. And I didn't eat anything the rest of the day because I had no appetite. And during the past few days, any thought of food, unless it was something very dry and bland, pretty much upset my stomach. In fact, when my friend and I were out to eat, there were commercials and they were showing food, and the images did not sit well. So I definitely screwed up my system this past weekend with just overdoing it, not drinking enough water, and now learning that to add electrolytes to compensate, because I also had a doctor's appointment Tuesday night, a virtual one, for my 9-month visit since my gastric sleeve surgery that I told you about. And although I knew that it was important to drink water after the surgery, which I do, I didn't realize, and if I was told, I just forgot, that working out, it's, of course, in general, it's important to get water in, but especially after surgery, it's that much more important. And so although I was drinking a good amount of water, I wasn't compensating for the tasks I was doing. So I definitely learned a lesson, and I'm telling you all this because, like I said in my first video, I'm going to be candid. I want to share my struggles and my mess ups, and of course my victories. And with this week, or this weekend, I will say it was a big eye-opener, and realizing I did not do things the way I should have, and I probably pushed myself too far. And I mean, heck, even tonight at my class, I was aggravated that I didn't come Monday night. However, I know 100% that if I would have come Monday night, I would have messed myself up even more and probably wouldn't have even been able to work the next day. Probably wouldn't have even been able to really work out, and might have gotten sick in front of people. So yeah, I've been beating myself up and on this stuff because I was doing so good and was so excited and so pumped to reach this goal. And although I haven't taken steps back, I still lost weight. Honestly, not as much as I thought I would with after being sick the way I was, but still, I lost weight. So I didn't, and again, I'm going to actually rephrase that. Even if I would have gained weight, that wouldn't have been a step back. Because as I talked about before, there's different, reasons that you can gain weight. That's one reason I'm not a huge fan of the scale. I've noticed several times where I hardly lose any weight, but my clothes have gone down quite a bit, or my belt magically has gotten longer. So, sorry, that was a little tangent. You guys know by now, if you've been watching these, I do that. So yeah, so this was one of those times where I'm beating myself up for not going to the gym Monday night, for not doing as hard as I had been. Even though tonight I still got a good amount of sweat out and still pushed myself, I didn't push myself the way I normally would because I didn't want to risk getting sick, because we were doing mountain climbers tonight, and I could tell that the mountain climbers weren't doing good for my stomach. And so the next few rounds, Amanda had me do high knee steps, which was much better, which is just a very small example of why I like coming to this place and these trainers is they accommodate for you. Excuse me, another squirrel tangent moment. So yeah, my original idea for this post this week was going to be something different, but it turns out that I needed to share this because, like I said before, I wanted to share the moments when I don't do so great or I do mess up, and I'm not going to let it keep me down. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to take my time too. I'm not going to, just go full throttle all of a sudden to compensate, because all that's going to do is make it worse again. So this video is probably not going to be as long as mine in the past have been. But I just want to again encourage anyone who is watching this, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or someone shows it to you, I don't know. If you're in this journey for weight loss, especially, again, like I've said every video, that's how I'm relating it, because I'm not on the opposite end. If you're wanting to gain weight, again, or again, if you're wanting to gain muscle, whatever the case may be, I know there's got to be struggles with that too. So I hope this can relate in whatever aspect it can. But for the people who are working on losing weight, you're going to have times where it feels like you had a huge step back. And maybe there's times that they are step backs. Maybe you had a bad week with eating and no exercise, but let that week pass. Be done with it. Don't wallow in it. Get back up and start again. I could tell I was tired tonight when I was doing things that I could do faster or did more of. I wasn't able to do like I did last week. Even when I try to, like, there were times when I'm like, okay, for this particular station, I'm going to push myself. And even though I was pushing myself, I couldn't do what I was doing last week because my body is still tired and it gets tired easily. And so I'm going to give it the rest of the week, and I'll still come to my HIIT class Saturday and do what I can. I'm probably not going to really hit up the gym other than my HIIT class until next week. So just encouraging you guys, when you get those moments where things don't go your way, just adjust, make smart choices, don't overdo it like I did, and give yourself grace. So I will talk to you guys next week. I might post a video beforehand so I can get back to my original thought, but I wanted to share that for tonight. So you guys have a good one.